I heard the silence speak before the thunder came, a quiet kind of war that never shouts its name, where doubt and faith collide, but never look the same, and hope is just a spark you guard within the flame. I walked on thoughts that cracked beneath the weight of fear, yet something in my chest kept whispering, stay here. Not here in place, but here in trust when skies aren't clear. A presence, not of sight, but something always near. They told me faith was sight, but sight can sometimes lie. 4 eyes can paint a truth that truth cannot supply, and logic builds a throne where fragile answers die, while faith becomes the wing that teaches bones to fly. So I unlearned the need to see, to understand, released the tight control I clenched with trembling hand. For what is fully known requires no command, but mystery is where the deeper truths expand. Now listen close, this isn't just a rhyme. This is the echo buried deep in time. The kind of truth that doesn't beg or shine, but waits until your breaking point aligns. Because faith is not a feeling you can hold at will. It's standing in the storm and somehow choosing still. Still choosing light when darkness bends against your will. Still choosing climb when every voice is saying nil. I met my fear one night. It wore a borrowed face. It spoke in careful tones. It moved with quiet grace. It said, you've come this far, but this is where you break. I smiled and answered back, or where I levitate. Because the fall it promised wasn't mine, and every step I feared became a path I make. For what is faith, if not a risk you undertake? A seed that splits the ground each time the roots awake. There's something strange about the unseen and the real. A truth you cannot touch, but somehow always feel. A hidden kind of strength no weapon dares to steal. A quiet kind of wound that time alone can heal. And in that space, where reason starts to lose its sound, where answers fade away and certainty is drowned, that's where belief is built. Not safe, but tightly bound. To something far beyond what logic has allowed. Tell me, what do you do when heaven doesn't speak? When strength is something only found in weak, when answers hide and questions start to leak, and every prayer feels like a losing streak. Do you retreat, or do you reach? I chose to reach beyond the edge of what I know, beyond the fragile truths I've learned to overthrow, beyond the need for proof before I choose to grow, into a deeper place where only faith can go. Because the ground I stand on shifts without a sound, and everything I knew can turn itself around. But there's a deeper route where I remain unbound, a place where lost is just another way of found. Now, hear this clearly. This is not defeat. This is the rhythm when surrender meets. The kind of loss that turns to something sweet, when broken hearts and higher purpose greet. I've seen the night stretch longer than my breath, felt dreams collapse and imitate their death, watched hope dissolve and leave me nothing left. But still I stood, though standing felt like theft. Because I stole from fear what fear could never keep. A quiet kind of strength buried in the deep. A seed of something waking in my sleep. A promise even failure couldn't reap. Not every door that closes means the end. Not every wound was meant for you to mend. Not every loss is something you defend. Some things are keys that only break to send you higher, though the fall feels low. Send you deeper than you planned to go. Send you through what you would never know, just to reveal what only faith can show. And faith is not the absence of the ache. It's choosing trust each time your insides shake. It's walking roads you never planned to take, and blessing every risk you had to make. Now let the rhythm slow. Let it breathe. Because this part is not for noise. This part is for those who almost let go. There's a version of you that almost disappeared. A silent scream the world has never heard. A fragile hope that trembled, bruised, and blurred, yet somehow still believed beyond the absurd. And that is the proof you're searching for inside. Not in the winds, not in the things you hide, but in the moments when you could have died, yet chose to trust, though trust was crucified. So if you ask me what this journey means, it's not the crowns, the stages, or the scenes. It's in the tearing at your in-betweens, where something greater rewrites what has been. Because becoming isn't clean or fast. It's built from fragments of a shattered past. It's learning not to rush what's meant to last, and seeing future through a broken glass. So I will stand, not because I see the end, not because I comprehend, not because the lines all blend, but because something deep within refuses now to break or bend. A quiet voice I cannot end, a truth too strong to just pretend. I will believe when sight is gone. I will hold on when strength feels wrong. I will sing faith inside my storm until my chaos is reborn. And if you listen closely still, you'll hear it too. That steady will, not loud, not proud, not forced, not skill, but something deep that whispers still.